Well, hello, friends. Welcome back. It is nearly Marathon Weekend. We are 14 days away, and the event guides came out yesterday.
3, 2, 1, go!
Today, I am going over the ins and outs of this year's Walt Disney World Marathon Weekend. Now, there is also a major addition, could say, to this year's race weekend, and that would be Coast to Coast returning. Disneyland Half Marathon Weekend Guide also came out yesterday, same day, course maps and all that fun stuff. That will be a separate video coming out pretty much alongside this, but separate video from this. This is going to focus just on Marathon Weekend, Expo courses, what's different from 2023, and what's the same. And then we're going to go into a little bit of like bathroom stops on course, food and beverage on course, things like that, just to give you some tips and tricks on how you could tackle Marathon Weekend this year, coming in January. So let's get to it. Well, as always, the Run Disney event guides always start out with a welcome to the weekend. We have Adam Ball here, the Run Disney Vice President of ESPN World Sports, Run Disney, and Disney Water Parks, here with his welcome message to the weekend. This will be Adam's second official Run Disney weekend with us as Vice President, since he is newly in that role. But otherwise, standard welcoming message here. We can move into the weekend events tab, and takes us into the Run Disney Health and Fitness Expo. That'll be our first order of business. The Run Disney Health and Fitness Expo starts on Wednesday, January 3rd. We'll open up at 10 a.m. and run till 8 p.m. Day 2 will be noon to 7 p.m. Day 3, same time, noon to 7 p.m. And Day 4 on Saturday, the January 6th, will be 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. So kind of hours shorten as the weekend goes along. Most people tend to go on that Day 1 there. The 5Kers and Dopey runners have to go on that Day 1. And, of course, if you're in it for the merch, those are that's the main day to go to make sure you get what you want. Now, if you are a Club Run Disney member, Platinum and Gold, these people will be able to get into the Run Disney merchandise ahead of time and without a virtual queue. Club Run Disney Platinum gets to get in at 8:30 to Run Disney merchandise, and then Gold at 9 o'clock. If you are not a Club Run Disney member, you have the Run Disney virtual queue that will open up at 8:30 to join on the My Disney Experience app. This has been in place for at least probably 2 or 3 years now. I don't know, something like that. But it's pretty standard. We've become accustomed to it for Run Disney race weekends. So more information, if you need to know how to join that, is right here. They give a full rundown, pictures, videos, all sorts of stuff on how to do that ahead of time. Once you get your virtual queue group, you'll be able to return to the Advent Health Arena and go into the merchandise. Now, if you are going on Day 2, 3, or 4 of the Expo, the virtual queue will not be in effect, so you do not need that virtual queue for those days. This is only for Day 1, for that kind of initial rush of people. Event waivers. Event waivers are signed on your Run Disney account online. If you have issues with that, there is a booth at the Expo to sign a printed version, and you should be fine that way. Expo transportation, we'll get into that. You have Expo transportation will start 30 minutes before and 30 minutes after, or run 30 minutes after the Expo close. So if you are a Club Run Disney, you do have to find your own modes of transportation because they will not get you there in time for your merchandise window. Here is a map of the layout of ESPN Wide World of Sports. There's 3 buildings you'll need to go into, and well, 2 for sure. 1 if you're getting merch, you'll have to go into, but otherwise, only three options for you. There will be, of course, food and beverage options throughout as well. It's kind of a big initial party to the weekend. Lots of people meet up here, see friends, stuff like that. We'll start with the Advent Health Arena. This is where the Run Disney merchandise is. Huge building. Main floor is all merchandise. This side will be your checkout. There'll also be a section for your pre-purchased merchandise. They do offer mobile checkout, so and then there will be photo opportunities with. Usually they bring characters out, or there's backdrops with the race distances and stuff like that you can take part in over there. And then of course, if you are a Platinum Club Run Disney member, you'll have your member lounge up on the second level of this building. Moving on to the bib pickup will be in the State Farm Fieldhouse. Now, compared to past years, it's a little different. Past year's Dopey was separate from everything else for shirts and bibs. This year, everything is together. So in the State Farm Fieldhouse, all race distances and challenges are together. You have the half, 5K Goofy, Dopey, Marathon, and 10K. You also have runner relations, athletes with disabilities, and Run Disney account services. So if you have, your Run Disney account has some issues, that's what you'll see there. If you have a question about your corrals, whatever else, that's where runner relations is for. And then, of course, athletes with disabilities in between those two. But yeah, everything together now on one floor here in the State Farm Fieldhouse for bib pickup. Now, if you are for your t-shirt pickup and for the exhibitors, this will be in the Athletic Center. In the past, we had a whole list over here of the vendors. There's no list of the vendors. I don't know why that is, but as of right now, we do not know who the vendors are. It just says exhibitors. I'm sure you could assume some of the staples will be there that we've seen for many years now in the vendor area. Jeff Galloway, Fit to Run, different stuff like that. Those will be there. There's an info booth over here. Over in the back area of the Athletic Center is your t-shirt pickup. Dopey, Goofy, and Full Marathon will all be on one side. The other side will be 5K, 10K, half. Obviously, if you're Dopey or Goofy, you only go to that one station. You have to go to all of them. All your shirts will be in one spot. But make sure to check your shirts. There are many times where people have found that they are given a wrong size, or they have, if with Dopey you get 6 shirts. So there's mistakes are made because volunteers have to put this stuff together ahead of time, and there will be times where, say you get, one shirt out of say you got 6 mediums, well, one shirt may be a small, or one shirt fits different than the other. You just make sure you go over, check your shirts before you leave, and then if you do have an issue, you can exchange them out at the shirt exchange tables in the back. That is the Athletic Center. But otherwise, there's not a whole lot else to the Expo. It's, like I said, a lot of times it's a big kind of a party to kind of get this weekend started. A lot of people hang out for a little bit, grab a bite to eat maybe. I like to hang out there for a little bit, see who I can find, meet up with people, that kind of thing. So it's a lot of fun, kind of that initial start to the Run Disney weekend.
Dive into the 5K. As you can see here, 5K page starts out with the schedule of events. The race does start at 5 a.m. in the Epcot parking lot. All standard procedure if you're used to Run Disney races. If you ran Wine and Dine in 2023, you will have known that they started something new that weekend. Start group opening and closing times. This is something new they started for Wine and Dine, and it worked out mostly fine. Usually, in the past, the start groups always opened and closed at a time, but it wasn't a posted time. It was just kind of as things went along to kind of keep things moving. So as you can see here, we have a specific start group opening time of 3:45, and each corral then closes at a specific time. So A will be at 4:40, B 4:45, C at 5 o'clock, D at 5:15, and then E once everybody is through. So once they get that group through, that is closed and the start will close. One thing to note of for this weekend as well, there are 5 start groups for the 5K. It's one more than normally for other race weekend 5Ks. Usually you only see 4 for the 5Ks. This weekend's 5. And we'll also see for the half and full marathons, there will be a 6th corral for those races because they're larger races. This is historically the largest race weekend that Run Disney puts on throughout the entire year. So it's going to be more people. It's going to be, more crowded. So just keep that in mind that if say you've only done springtime or only done wine and dine, those race weekends historically are smaller than Walt Disney World Marathon Weekend. You also see some race etiquette. This is the same throughout all of the races. Some race weekend reminders, just kind of general stuff, where to place your bib, that kind of general reminder kind of stuff. They do tell you in here to arrive by 4 a.m. Parking lots will, they have road closures and stuff because for these races, a lot of times you do run through that toll plaza, so they want you all in before the race starts, of course. Side of that, they do list, this is new kind of this year too, they have a graphic just for spectators. 5K, because it runs in Epcot before the park opens, you only can spectate at the start and the finish line, so that lists that here. Start line will be open from 5 to 6 a.m. for spectators, and then the finish from 5:15 to 7:30. So, and they list some tips in there, especially if you're making a sign or stuff like that. So just, if you're just gonna spectate, check this out, give it a read. Transportation wise, like I had mentioned, all the Walt Disney World resorts plus Shades of Green and Swan and Dolphin and Swan Reserve are all offer Run Disney transportation. Transportation to the race will start at 3 a.m. for the 5K and run until 5 a.m. Post-race, transportation will be available from 6:30 to 8:30 to all those resorts as well. There will be no monorail or Skyliner transportation for the 5K or 10K, so make sure you keep that in mind. There had never been Skyliner transportation for a Run Disney race. Monorails they have and will use for the larger races, so just something to keep in mind, but bus only for the 5K and 10K. As we move along, they also have, you can take a minivan if you would like. They just put that in there kind of as an ad. Your photo pass race photo codes will be in here. This will be listed for all the races, 5K first, 10K half, and full. And if you're running Dopey or Goofy, you do have to enter each code in each day. Just to keep that in mind. That will be something you will need. Now let's start with the start staging. This is the same as Wine and Dine. Obviously, if you are did not run Wine and Dine, they did change things just slightly. Bus drop-off is in the same spot as normal. That will be in the resort bus drop-off area for Epcot. You will enter through the main security at Epcot, walk around, and go to past the finish line. Now, the finish line is in a different lot. It is the cast member parking lot for Epcot. It's just basically to the right of where it used to be, so just a little further back. And so that you'll see that as you walk in, you just follow all the signs. There's plenty of volunteers and stuff guiding you, and the crowds will certainly be there to just follow the crowds. They'll take you there, and then you'll go into the reunion lot, and that's where you'll hang out until the start groups open. Once those are open, you can head into your corrals, and then for the course itself, pretty historically the same, not too much different. You'll start out in the parking lot as expected, run out onto the road, around the parking lot, past. This is where the buses all line up to take you back after the finish, but you'll come down and go inside backstage through Epcot. Usually, historically, there is a character back here. I don't want, don't say there for sure will be there, but that's historically there is some sort of entertainment value back right around this mile 1 marker. You'll go under test track here, backstage into between Mexico and China there, and then around World Showcase Lagoon. There is only one water stop for the 5K. I do want to go over to or I should say not Mexico and China, Mexico and Norway. China's after Norway. But there is real bathrooms here in Norway. You'll find more real bathrooms in Germany, and then real bathrooms in America, where the one water stop is for this race. You'll find real bathrooms in Morocco. Then you'll keep running through World Showcase. Real bathrooms in the UK. And then there will be real bathrooms right over here by the old Starbucks. They call this the Rose Walk. Never really heard it referred to that, but that is what it's listed on My Disney Experience. But there are bathrooms over here. Then you'll go out through the middle front of World Showcase, through the newly opened area of World Celebration, past the new Walt the Dreamer statue, in between Connections and Creations. There is a bathroom over here. That'll be slightly off course for this, but there is a real bathroom that they may let you go to over here. That'll be the last real bathroom before you exit out to the finish. You'll go by Guardians. Now, I do want to mention, this was kind of especially if you're a back of the packer, this was a bottleneck. I thought for Wine and Dine, we did the same thing for Wine and Dine, is go past the front of Guardians here, and because it got real tight and you did a sharp turn to go around the front of there. I wasn't a big fan of it, so we'll see how well it works for what historically is a larger race. So just keep that in mind. This is an untimed race too, so you don't have to, if you're not running for time, it's not something to really worry about too much, but just keep that in mind. This was a bottleneck area. Then you'll run past Mission Space, out the back again, around the Wonders of Life Pavilion, behind Guardians, out to the finish there. So pretty standard Disney 5K. Some slight changes, with running through World Celebration there. But otherwise, that is the Walt Disney World 5K. Just to go over the finish staging real quick, pretty standard here as well. You'll finish, there'll be spectator viewing by the finish. You'll walk out, get your medals. They'll have the Advent Health medical tent there, stuff like that. And then, of course, in the reunion lot, food and beverage tent, the stage. They'll have the walk and repeat photo things for your medal photos if you want to do that. Gear check will be over here as well, stuff like that. So just it's pretty standard Run Disney finish line area, and that is your Walt Disney World 5K. Back and go into the Walt Disney World 10K. Much like before, you have your start group, opening, closing times. These are all the same as the 5K. So 5K, 10K will be the same for start group, opening, and closing times. So if you're running Dopey, it's the same for you. If you're not, just keep that in mind for those races. These are what the times are. These will change and be different for the half and full, but for 5 and 10K, the times are all the same. Again, race etiquette reminders, all the same. Spectator viewing, again, only at the start and finish. Pretty standard for 5 and 10Ks. They don't. Now, officially, there is no spectating on the boardwalk and in the Epcot Resort area. However, there is spectating in the Epcot Resort area, boardwalk area. They just don't want you to be loud. They want you to, keep quiet. We'll get into that as we get into the course map, but they don't encourage people going to that spot because it is 5 in the morning and they want they have resort guests that are not running that would like to sleep at that time. So just keep that in mind. Here, because the 10K is a officially timed race, you will have your runner tracking here on this page. This will be also on the half and full pages. You enter your participant or yourself bib number, and you'll be able to track them there. Race transportation, again, same as the 5K, 3 a.m. to 5 a.m. for start transportation. A little bit longer for the finish transportation, 6:30 to 9 a.m. There will be no monorail or Skyliner transportation again for this race. We do have a road closure map because this race does run on the roads there. So if you are trying to get in, or if you have spectators trying to get into this area, just note that certain roads will close as early as 3 or 4 a.m. The only one at 3 a.m. is the backstage lane back behind Epcot there. I don't think many spectators or racers will have to worry about that one too much. It's probably more so for the cast members and stuff getting to work. But otherwise, you'll have areas of Epcot Center Drive and World Drive that will close due to the race. So just keep that in mind there. Again, photo pass, start and staging is all the same, so I'm not going to go over that as well. But let's get into the course itself. So, if I can blow this up a little bit here, we will start again in the Epcot parking lot. If you have run Walt Disney World Marathon Weekend before, and especially the 10K, this is pretty much a standard Walt Disney World 10K. There's not a whole lot difference here this year. Pretty standard, just like the 5K, pretty standard. They like to use this course over and over and over. And I don't mind it because I do like this course. You do have the front, basically almost 3 miles is all roadway. You'll go out onto the road there, do a hairpin turn back up over the overpass there, come around. There will be a water stop after just before mile 2. They'll have characters entertainment along this stretch here as well, so it's not like there's nothing there. If you are a fan of Run Disney and do not yet listen to the 3 2 1 Go podcast with Carissa and John, they are Run Disney race announcers, and they had one of the episodes they had Mark Ferreira, the race entertainment director, and he says that their big thing is trying to get at least 3 things of entertainment value per mile. So whether that's character, a prop, or live music, stuff, whatever it may be, there's some sort of entertainment piece there every basically third of a mile. So just keep that in mind. So like I said, almost 3 miles before you get into a park. You will come just before mile 3 backstage around Epcot, in between the Imagination and the Land pavilions. There will be a real bathroom here at the Imagination Pavilion, and then you will run inside Epcot down that Rose Walk, as they call it. There will be a real bathroom in that area as well. You'll run then around Canada, out the UK there. There will be a real bathroom here in the UK. There will be a water stop just backstage as you're coming through between UK and Canada. You'll run past the Skyliner station, then out through the International Gateway Path, past the Beach Club, Yacht Club, and Boardwalk. Now, like I said, here in this area, all these resorts, there you can spectate. Now, they just encourage you to be quiet. They don't list it, like I said, they don't list it as an official spectating spot, but it is open. You are, capable of going in those areas and cheering on your runner just quietly. Then you will come back around in through International Gateway, over the bridge, and by France there will be a real bathroom. In Morocco for you to use. Japan there, into America, another real bathroom and a water stop. Then you'll continue on, real bathroom in Germany, past China, real bathroom in Norway, past Mexico. There is a real bathroom in Odyssey, but that is kind of off course. I don't know if they'll allow you to continue on and go use that one, but safe bet, go in Norway before you get there. Up through the center entrance of World Showcase, between Connections and Creations. You don't really go through World Celebration for this one. That's that was something we did for the 5K. Not really doing it here, so that's pretty standard compared to the old center opening of Epcot here. But then we will go by Guardians again. Interested to see how this works for the 10K. We did not do that for the 10K for Wine and Dine. It just kind of went straight out. So I'm curious to see how that works for us here. And then out behind, backstage to the finish, all pretty standard procedure for the Walt Disney World 10K. And yeah, not a whole lot else to talk about for the 10K. Like I said, staging all the same, pretty standard, not too difficult. Race start again at 5 a.m. Now let's go into the big events of the weekend. This is where, of course, if you're running the Goofy Challenge, this is where you're a start. You are 2 races in already if you're running Dopey. But this is really where the crowds will pick up in the half marathon. Historically, the half is the biggest race in terms of number of participants for Walt Disney World Marathon Weekend. And then second would be the full 10K, third, and 5K last. But these are just historically, that's how this works, is that the half will be the largest race of the weekend. Again, 5 a.m. start. Again, starting at Epcot. We'll go into start group opening and closing times. This is, like I said, will be a little different from the first 2 races. You have an extra corral for this one. The first 4 corrals will open at 3:15. And then we'll start closing at 4:40, and then go on from there. Start groups E and F will not open until 4 a.m. E will close at 5:30, and then F, and then once everybody's clear, F will close. So keep that in mind. Whatever group you are in, make sure to get there before your group closes. For those last 2 group, to get those last 2 groups loaded and in, pretty strictly close those early corrals. So just make sure you're getting there on time and into those corrals. Like I said, etiquette reminders, all that fun stuff, all pretty standard. Nothing too different there. Race tracking here. Going into spectating viewing here, because it's a larger race, goes through multiple parks. They do have some more options for you. Of course, the start line will be open for spectating viewing. Because we'll be running to Magic Kingdom, the Transportation and Ticket Center in the Magic Kingdom parking lot will be open for spectator viewing. This usually is a lively spot for spectators because easy access for the monorail. The monorail will be running at this time, so spectators can utilize that to get to this area and to Magic Kingdom for spectating. But and then they will have spectating outside the Disney's Contemporary Resort. Lots of people usually line up along the road there as we run into and towards Magic Kingdom. Magic Kingdom will be open for spectators on Main Street only. You can get inside there before 7:30. And you will not need a park ticket. You will just be able to stand on Main Street and cheer on your runner there. This is always the big moment as you're running up Main Street towards the castle. The street is lined with spectators, people loud, cheering. This is really that it moment of Run Disney. This is the one that makes it all worth it as you run towards that castle. And then over by the Grand Floridian. They'll be along the roadway again there. There'll be spectators, plenty of them, in what is historically known as Cone Alley. And at the finish line, spectators as well. Transportation-wise, transportation will start at 2:30 in the morning, so a half hour earlier than the 5K and 10K. Post-race transportation will run till 10:30. Again, all spectators, or all Walt Disney World Resorts and Shades of Green, Swan and Dolphin, that fun stuff. Now, for the half and full marathons, the monorail will be utilized for race transportation. If you are staying at a Magic Kingdom resort, you must use monorail transportation to Epcot for the half and full marathon. This is how they do it for this week's race weekend. It is they're larger events, and due to road closures and all that kind of stuff, they do want you on a monorail rather than the bus transportation. There will be no buses for Magic Kingdom area resorts, so make sure you know that this is the Contemporary, Polynesian, and Grand Floridian. So if you're staying at one of those 3, you must take the monorail to the start. Again, no Skyliner transportation. That will not be in use for any of the race weekends. Just keep that in mind if you are staying at those resorts. Otherwise, buses, again, 2:30 start for buses at other resorts. Road closure map, again, this is a larger race and utilizes a lot more roads, so there will be a lot more road closures if you are trying to drive in this area, if you're driving to the start, or if you're a spectator that is driving. Definitely go over this, check what times these roads close, where you may need to take alternate routes to get to certain areas. A lot of times, if you're a spectator, it's much easier to take the Disney transportation places and do those kind of things. So just keep that in mind. Start and staging the same as well. Nothing too different there. However, for start and staging for this race, just for the start, this will be for the start, the half and the full. This is something they started with Wine and Dine. This is because we are starting in the parking lot for Walt Disney World Marathon Weekend. I've been now running Walt Disney World Marathon Weekend for, this will be my 10th straight year. And we have always started on the road for Marathon Weekend. So we always start up here on the road, and you have that long walk out around backstage through here to get to the road. They are not doing that this year. They are doing what they did for Wine and Dine, and you will have to load from the front of the corral area. So normally for the 5 and 10K, you enter over here to get into, or over here I should say, into the corrals and just walk straight in. Not the case this time. You will walk from the reunion area. Will walk. There's a big area of porta potties over here. This is the stage. You will walk around those porta potties, behind them, and then around behind the stage, and then they will enter you over here from the front. So that is different for than we are normally used to for this race weekend. And then all the corrals will be loaded in here. There'll be porta potties over here and a water station here as well if you need it. Given how this was kind of problematic for Wine and Dine in terms of if you were in the later corrals, there seemed to be some issues with communication and speakers, and just it wasn't well. I don't think it didn't work out as well as maybe they had anticipated. But thankful, I shouldn't say thankfully, hopefully they have gotten this figured out a little bit better, especially since there's more people usually at this race weekend, and there is another corral compared to Wine and Dine. Wine and Dine only went from A to E. This one goes A to F. So hopefully they have this figured out for this race weekend. But we shall see, I guess. Don't want you to worry too much, though. We should be fine. I was in C for the half for Wine and Dine, and I didn't really have many issues. I just know for people that were like in E, there was quite a few complaints about that. But just keep that in mind. Now for the course itself. Course itself is pretty standard. A few changes we'll go over. Like I said, we start in the parking lot. That is a change. That's not normally what we do. And because of that, we have a little change to the first mile or so. So you'll come out, you'll go through the Epcot, just by the Epcot toll plaza here. And then you'll have to go up this on-ramp here. Now, normally we don't have to do that because we're on the road, so we just continue on and go as we would. But because we're on the other side, we have to go up the on-ramp and then down, or take our way on World Drive there towards Magic Kingdom. So just keep that in mind. There will be an uphill on-ramp right at mile 1. Then we'll take our way and go towards Magic Kingdom. This is all standard. This will get real wide here, so plenty of space to spread out. Won't be too crowded here. And then you'll go through the Magic Kingdom toll plaza. There'll be a water stop over here, mile 3. Then you'll go through the Magic Kingdom parking, TTC. Usually plenty of characters along this stretch. plenty of things to see, stuff like that. And then you'll get to the TTC. TTC, this is where your first real bathroom will be. Now, last year, I believe for the half it was open, but the full it was not. So keep that in mind. Sometimes they close this bathroom for some reason. I don't know why, but just keep that in mind. Sometimes it is closed. There will be a water stop just past the TTC. Then you'll continue on past the Contemporary, and you'll make a left turn towards the Magic Kingdom bus area. You'll go down this road here and in through the main entrance of Magic Kingdom. There is a small bathroom right at the Magic Kingdom entrance. Probably not the best place to go because it is small. It's not, and it may not be open. I don't know how these kind of entrance ones are always kind of weird in terms of bathrooms. So just keep that in mind. You may want to wait until we get inside the park. But you'll run up Main Street. There'll be this Main Street. The left side of Main Street will be packed with spectators. You run just up towards the castle and then take a right turn into Tomorrowland. And then once you're in Tomorrowland, there will be a bathroom here in Tomorrowland near Star Traders. That's a bigger bathroom, plenty of space. Then you'll go past Tomorrowland Speedway. There is a bathroom over here by Cheshire Cafe. That is another opportunity for that. Past the teacups, around Mine Train, Little Mermaid. There will be bathrooms here at Gaston's. And through around the carousel, there are bathrooms back here as well by Pinocchio Village House. Kind of a little further off course than some of the other ones, though. Through the castle, which is always a highlight, there will be photographers here in front of the castle. There's like 6 or 7 of them all lined up, so just keep that in mind. Usually lines are not too bad for that. Then you'll go through Liberty Square, and then through Frontierland over here. There are bathrooms in this breezeway over here. And then out, you'll do a hairpin turn by Big Thunder and what was formerly known as Splash Mountain. And then backstage through behind Magic Kingdom. And then you'll go back. There will be a water stop behind Magic Kingdom. Go down, and you'll head towards the Grand Floridian and Polynesian resorts. This is what we historically call Cone Alley because this becomes a single-lane road for runners. And there is tons and tons of cones. This does become a bottleneck if you are, historically a back of the packer. This is a big congestion point. So keep that in mind, that this can become a problematic area. As we continue on, you'll continue on roadway. There will be one food stop on the half marathon course. This will come after mile 8. I don't believe it has been noted what that food stop is yet. Historically, it is a race sponsor, which I believe is, again, Sports Beans or Honey Stinger. So in the past, we've had Sports Beans or we've had Honey Stinger Chews. So those are the two options we most likely will have again. So keep that in mind. Right after, there will be a water stop as well. Continue on all roadway all the way through mile 12 until we get back into Epcot. We don't spend a ton of time in Epcot, though. Once we enter Epcot, you'll have a real bathroom by the Imagination Pavilion. You'll run through around the World Celebration area, do a slight turn around the front towards the front of the World Showcase, but you won't go into the World Showcase, back through World Celebration. And this year, for the first time since before Epcot construction started, we will go out the front of Epcot. We have not done that in probably, I think, last time we did it was 2017, 2018, something like that. It's been quite a while since we've done it. So that'll be a nice return. And you'll go out through the front of Epcot. There will be bathrooms, real bathrooms, just before you exit out of Epcot on this side over here. And then you'll exit out and to the finish, which will be in the same spot as all the other races. And so that is your 2024 Walt Disney World Half Marathon. No, I mean, pretty similar course to what we're used to. Few slight changes, nothing too crazy though. But yeah, that is the half marathon. Now for the big one, the Walt Disney World Marathon. Once again, like all other races, started at 5 a.m. Start group opening and closing times. We have the first 4 are at 3:15, and the last two are at 4 a.m. for opening times. Group A will close at 4:40, and B 4:45, C 5:10, D 5:15, and E 5:30. F will close once the line is clear. Race etiquette reminders, all standard stuff. Spectating will be a little bit larger because we have more places we're going. Here you'll have the start will be obviously open. Transportation Ticket Center again. Contemporary Main Street. All similar to the half Grand Floridian. However, where we get some additional spots are Disney's Animal Kingdom. That park will be opening at 9. If you're a resort guest, a half hour before that. But that is where, because we'll be running through there. Some runners will be through there already at that point. So you really have to keep a track of where your runners will be. But for some, that will be a spectating spot, miles 15 to 16 inside Disney's Animal Kingdom. We'll show you where the course goes through there to give you a better idea of spectating in Animal Kingdom. But then after that, you'll go through and then won't be able to spectate till Hollywood Studios. That will be in park as well. Obviously, for Animal Kingdom and Hollywood Studios, you will have to have a park ticket to get into that space. Then Disney's Boardwalk will be available for spectating. They do list this one here because it's later in the day, so you can you don't have to be as quiet for this one. And then inside Epcot again with a valid theme park ticket. Epcot does open at 10 this day, and then of course at the finish line they'll have plenty of space to finish for finish line spectating. They'll have bleachers and stuff set up there as well. So just keep this in mind if you are spectating the marathon. These are the official spectating spots. Transportation, again, just like the half, you will have it start at 2:30. Post-race, the transportation will run till 1:30. Monorail is in use for Magic Kingdom resorts. Everybody else will be taking a bus. No Skyliner transportation, just like normal stuff like that. All pretty standard procedure. Road closure map. Obviously a lot more road closures because it's a much larger race. We go all over Walt Disney World property. So if you are trying to get around, keep these road closures in mind. You will have to take alternate routes. Run our Disney transportation, whether it be monorail, bus. Those are your best options because those people know where to go during this time. But obviously, too, it will take longer for them to get to these places. And then start and staging, all the same from the half marathon. You will have that walk around behind the stage to get to the corrals, stuff like that. Now for the course itself. Let's dive in. Start-wise, we have a pretty good amount of changes this year from past marathons. Because of the change in the start, we are starting, like I said, in the Epcot parking lot. We will run out and then do a turn to the right and run into the backstage of Epcot behind Test Track in between Mexico and Norway. We will run then out towards, we'll run around the front of World Showcase, run up that Rose Walk there. This will be a bathroom stop if you need it there, and that Rose Walk, and then there will be another bathroom by Imagination again, if you need it. Then we're out backstage behind the land, out towards the front, towards the bus stop area of Epcot. There will be a water stop over there. Then through the Epcot parking lot. In past years, we would come back out like the front, or we would come in the front and then go back around this way and go past the start again. We're not doing that this year, since we're, the start is different. But we are going out. We'll do a turn just after mile 3, and then make our way towards the Magic Kingdom. And as we go through there, you'll go through the toll plaza, or just past. You'll go to the right or the left of the toll plaza. The toll plaza is here for Magic Kingdom. Just before mile 6, will be a water stop, and then into the TTC. There will be a food stop at the TTC. Historically, this is a little bit earlier for that food stop. I believe we usually have it just after the TTC, but it looks like it's like right at the TTC this year. Again, we don't officially know what that food is just yet, but historically, sports beans or honey stinger chews. Bathroom should be open here. Sometimes it's not. I have experienced it not being open, so just keep that in mind. It may not be open, but there is a real bathroom here. And you'll continue on towards the Contemporary, and then through the Magic Kingdom entrance. Now, inside Magic Kingdom, we do have some slight changes here. You will run up Main Street as normal, run into Tomorrowland as normal. You'll have a bathroom by Star Traders if you need it. But then we run back towards Space Mountain and back by Tron. There will be bathrooms back by Space Mountain if you do need those. Those are pretty large, but again, also kind of, off course. Keep that in mind. But we'll run back by Tron for the first time ever. That is a brand new thing. We'll run them by Storybook Circus. There is a bathroom over here by the train station. Then we'll run behind Mine Train and Little Mermaid. There's a bathroom over by Gaston's Tavern. Now we'll run back out through the front of the castle. Again, bathroom back here by Pinocchio's Village House. Into Liberty Square. Then through Frontierland. Bathroom in this breezeway here. Hairpin turn by Big Thunder Mountain and formerly Splash Mountain. All standard stuff here. Except for last year, we did run into Adventureland and then out. Not doing that this year, back to the standard Frontierland exit out of Magic Kingdom. Then we journey into Cone Alley, one of our favorites there, past the Grand Floridian Polynesian. And then we will, instead of going back towards Epcot for this one, we go over towards Animal Kingdom. Past the golf courses. And once we don't get to Animal Kingdom until about mile 15, we will come in backstage. We will go into Animal Kingdom here along the path from Africa to Asia. There will be a bathroom. There will be a small bathroom over here in Anandapur, and then there will be another bathroom over here towards Everest. And this is the big one. Lots of people try to ride Everest. Now you have to time this right. Park does not open until 9. Resort guests are able to enter at 8:30. So historically, the ride would then be open at 8:30. Also, something they have done in the past is load runners through the single rider line. Now, this varies year to year. There are years that they have not done that. This will be my 7th Walt Disney World Marathon. And last year they did load us all in the single rider line. Years prior to that, they have not. So keep that in mind. It really varies. But you can ride Everest as long as the park is open. This is, a big staple of this race. Also, if you are like me and like to indulge a little bit, have some fun, there is the Thirsty River bar right here that will serve beverages. Historically also open early. So keep that in mind there. Then we'll run past the Finding Nemo Theater and into Dino Land USA. There will be a real bathroom here in Dino Land before you exit out the back. Now, once we get out the back of Animal Kingdom, there will be a food stop over there, and that historically is Bananas. So keep that in mind that if you are looking for a banana, that's where that will be. There will be a water stop just after that as we exit back out the way we came into Animal Kingdom. Then we take a turn and we go towards everybody's favorite place, Blizzard Beach. Except we don't go into Blizzard Beach. We go into the parking lot and we do a loop around the parking lot because, why not? So we come in, we go all the way around. Lots of added mileage here. And We come out, and there will be a food stop there again. Historically, again, bananas. I don't know why they do back-to-back banana stops. It's kind of what they've done. I don't know, whatever. But mile 20, you'll go around the outside of Blizzard Beach then. And take up... This was a new portion for Wine and Dine this year. In the past, we would go back around and go up this way past Coronado Springs. This year, we are not. We are going around Blizzard Beach and taking this path towards, or this road towards Hollywood Studios. Now, some major things to keep in mind here. This is elevation. As you come up here, this will be an on-ramp, which will be a hill here. Now, granted, Florida hills aren't very big, but still, at mile 21 of a marathon, a hill is not, something you really look forward to. But, keeping that in mind, this will be uphill over here. Then you'll take this roadway down until you get to mile 22, and then we will do another on-ramp. This one is one of those curves that will be like a slanted roadway, again, uphill at mile 22 to get to Hollywood Studios. So then you'll come over here, you'll enter into the backstage of Hollywood Studios. We are in Hollywood Studios, very very short period of time. We come in the back by Fantasmic. There will be a real bathroom over there. This is also where the chocolate stop is historically. So it's usually, some years it's Hershey Kisses, some years it's, I don't know, it's a variety. It's usually like the leftover Halloween party candy. So it could be M&Ms. I don't know. It varies from year to year, but it's usually some sort of chocolate will be at this point. You run down Sunset Boulevard, and then right out the front, or not out the front, but outside, just to the left of the front, backstage. Then you will take the path to Epcot via International Squeezeway, as many of us call it, because this does narrow down. Now, the good part about this is, at this point in the race, most people are spread out, so it's not a big problem, but it does get very narrow here. This is just a walkway path, so not even, it's not really a car length or car width wide. It's smaller than that, so it does get narrow here. There will be a water stop just before the boardwalk here. You'll make your turn onto the boardwalk, and this is a big cheering section here. Usually plenty of people out at the boardwalk. Then you'll run back towards International Gateway, enter backstage behind the UK by World Showplace, come into World Showcase there. That is a big, this is usually where you get a big crowd push right here at the entrance to World Showcase. You'll run around World Showcase, as you can see over here. There will be real bathrooms in the UK. There will be real bathrooms in Morocco. There will be real bathrooms in America, real bathrooms in Germany, Norway, and then Odyssey over here, and then real bathrooms over by in the World Discovery area as well. So those are your real bathrooms as you come into Epcot. Now, another thing is finishing with a beverage or food item of choice. Now, by the time we come into Epcot, for a lot of people, most people probably, the park will be open. So that means most things are open. A lot of people like to stop in the UK, grab a beer at Rose and Crown. That is a popular option. You can also grab something at the Regal Eagle walk-up window over here in America. That is another popular option. That one usually even opens up early before the park, because the bartender likes the runners and will help us out. The major one though is the margaritas in Mexico. Now you have two major options. There is the La Choza over on the right side of the course, and then there is the quick service on the left side. For me, my tip is to have someone spectating wherever your drink of choice may be. Have them tracking you and watching for you. Grab that drink ahead of time, have it ready for you, and then you're on the way to go, so you don't have to wait in any lines for your item. You may not have that, or may want food. There's plenty of food options along this. A lot of people will grab a pretzel in Germany, That's a big one as well. So keep that in mind, just to plan out ahead of time what you may want. And we do run into the new World Celebration area a bit. Not a ton, but we do run basically through the center of it. And then we're out between Creations and Connections. Standard finish compared to the past few years at least. This one doesn't take that route like the half. But back behind Test Track, out towards behind Guardians, and out to the finish. And there you are, a Walt Disney World finisher, a Goofy finisher, and or Dopey finisher. That is the 2024 Walt Disney World Marathon. Now, finish staging, all the same. Not too much difference there. Outside of that, those are the races. That's the things to keep in mind as you go into Walt Disney World Marathon Weekend.
So that is going to basically do it for our Walt Disney World Marathon Weekend event guide. They do have some important information tab here. This is just basically guidelines and stuff. You'll have your costume guideline video that they just put out, kind of going over the new guidelines. They're not really new, but further clarifications, you could say. Your event waiver and check-in pass for Marathon Weekend. Your check-in pass for the Expo will be available on January 2nd. That will have your bib number and information in there. Again, more on costume guidelines. They have full rundown of the start group timelines, all in one place for all 4 races. Some reminders, medical information, the flag guidelines if we have to deal with that for weather, race etiquette, more weather information, photo pass, post-race information. Not really a whole lot there other than official results will be on the Track Shack website. And that's that. They will also, in the event guide, have the digital expo portion. This is really a spot for the sponsors and stuff to post advertisements. Our featured charity is the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society here. So they're also then of course all the sponsors. Sometimes you'll find some ads or discounts and stuff in here. Usually Enterprise has a small discount, stuff like that. Then if you're into like I should say I'm blanking on the word I want to know, but like put your medals in a frame or something. They have different options for that as well. You have different Fit to Run. They're located at Disney Springs. If you need stuff, they'll be at the Expo as well. iTab. They don't engrave medals anymore. Like way long ago when it first started, you would engrave the medal on the back. Well, now most of the medals are double-sided, so you don't do that. But they'll have iTab that you can put a thing around the lanyard to your medal for your time and stuff like that. But yeah, just like the sponsors and stuff. Like I said, there may be some discounts inside here, but that's pretty much it for the Expo guide. Yeah, that's Walt Disney World Marathon Weekend. Of course, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, please reach out. I'd be happy to help as best as I can. If there's anything I didn't go over that you would like to me to go over, stuff like that. Whatever you need. Hopefully, we see you there at Walt Disney World Marathon Weekend. It is one giant family reunion of sorts. It's my favorite weekend of the year. Like I said, my 10th straight year running this event. 7th Dopey. I can't wait. It's a blast. It's really unlike anything else. So hopefully we see you there. But for now, that is going to do it for the Walt Disney World Marathon Weekend 2024 event guide and course breakdown.